Hey guys, it's Clay here with Red Clay Adventures. Today I've got several projects. I'm going to spread this out over a couple different videos so it doesn't get too muddled. We're going to be working on my kayak. This is the Lifetime Tamarack Pro Angler 10.3. It's a 10-foot kayak made by Lifetime, and I have really been enjoying it. I've got to take it out a couple times. I've fished in it once or twice. It's a very nice kayak. There are a few things I want to add to it to make it better for fishing. In this video, we're going to work on an anchor trolley, put an anchor trolley on it, and an anchor setup. All this will be fairly inexpensive. I'll show you what we're putting on it. This is the Yak Attack lever lock anchor trolley. It's a complete system ready to go on your kayak. This one happens to be an OD green, so it will match the kayak. And for our anchor system, we're going to use a retractable dog leash, a very large carabiner, and just a plate weight that you would use off any weight set. So now that you know what's going on, let's get started. First thing I want to do is lay out my components. You have your pulleys, front and rear. These don't matter which one's which, they're the same. Then you have some secondary guides here that'll go on. And you have your lever lock system and your retaining ring for your paracord. And your paracord. This right here is where your either your stakeout pole or your anchor will clip to. And this right here will actually, your line will pass, sorry, I'm trying to keep this in frame. Your line will pass through here, and you can lock your line down to where it doesn't move and doesn't slide around on you when you get it set where you want it. So I'm going to put this as close as I can to myself. So it'll probably wind up about here. Just that way I can reach it, or I may put it on back here. But I'm going to try to keep everything running close to this seam. The instructions say to start your holes with an 1/8 inch drill bit. And so that's what we're going to get now. This kit comes with 2 different size screws. The longer screws are going to go through your pulleys, and the shorter screws will go through everything else. So it'll go through the front of your pulley holder, or your, whatever you call it. It's going to go through the front. And then the short screws will also go on your lever lock and your additional guides. Let's see. So I'm going to put this pulley right about here. I don't want to put it too close to the nose. I'm going to be bumping it into stuff. So I'm going to back it up a little bit and come right about here. Don't get crazy with your drill. This is plastic and you will tear it out. Just try to make sure it's as even as you can get it. And we will drill our second hole. Make sure everything's nice and tight. And we'll go back and do the same thing on the rear. Now what you're going to do is feed paracord through one side. Make sure when you're feeding this through these pulleys, you feed through the top side. Now, the way this kayak is, I don't want to make this tight because then it's going to make my paracord come up above my paddle keeper and come up into the seat area. I don't want that. So I'm going to try and leave it, let it sag a little bit. I want it to kind of run right along this line. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my little hook and we're going to come through the back side, and I want to tie just an overhand knot just to kind of stop it from moving. And that way that's there. It has a groove that paracord will sit in, and so that's perfectly fine just like that. We'll do the same thing with the other side. So on this particular kayak, I'm going to come right here to the end of this groove for my paddle, and that's where I'm going to put these keepers to help hold this line up. I'm going to do it on both ends, that way they match. You'll notice I didn't cut this paracord off just yet because I want to make sure I had everything right. And as you can see, I've got a little bit extra slack in this. So now that I have these extra guides on here, I can cinch this down a little more. Now no matter where I want to put that anchor trolley, I can. We'll trim that here in a second. One more piece. And the last piece, where's that? There it is. Their little lever lock. I don't want to put it over the logo, so I think we'll put it right in here. Looks like a good spot. Put that lever just a little bit above, that way it's easy to access. When you install this, make sure that your line is running through that top groove there, because that's what allows you to be able to lock it. You just flip that little switch and it locks that paracord down. It's not 100% perfect lock, but it's enough to where the wind ain't gonna allow you to drift and move. But what this does, it allows you to move that anchor to where no matter where the wind's blowing you, you have adjustment to make sure you stay in the right position. This also snaps right up in there when it's not in use, and that way it's out of the way and it's secure. You lock it down, none of it's going anywhere. Now for the anchor portion of our video. What we're going to be using for our anchor line is this dog leash. This thing came from Harbor Freight. I think they're like $5.99. I forget what the poundage is as far as for your dog. I think it's around 70 or 80 pounds. So this is going to be pretty decent. I mean, it should hold a kayak no problem. So this is going to be our anchor line. And the nice thing about this is it self-retracts. It's like once you pull your anchor up off the bottom, it's going to reel it back in. You want to lock yourself down to a spot. Simple as that. You push the button, hit the lock. Your anchor line doesn't move. For our anchor, I have, this is just an 8-pound plate weight that I have no idea where I got it. It's covered in rust, really don't care. I may wind up hitting it with some flat black just so it's not rusty nasty in the kayak. But that's going to be my anchor. And to attach the anchor to the anchor trolley, I have one of these large carabiners, also from Harbor Freight. It's just simply going to hook just like that, and then clip directly to my anchor trolley. Yes, this thing is probably going to get wet. It really doesn't matter. These things are, I mean, they don't really have any metal in them, really, except for maybe a few springs. So it's not going to wear out anytime soon. I mean, I figure the thing will break before it rusts. So all we're going to do, super simple. It has this little nylon strap piece with a buckle. It's going to drop through the hole in the plate weight. Come back up. Clip to the metal ring. Go in the back of the kayak. That way when I'm sitting in it, I can simply drop it over the side, straight to the bottom, set my depth, flip it to my anchor trolley, move my anchor on my anchor trolley wherever I need to. Super easy, done, cheap. Also easy to remove. If I want to use a stakeout pole or something like that, you can simply just drop back in the back, drop in my milk crate, whatever. Very cheap, very easy anchor hack for a kayak. It works great. I've used them before. The other deal I had got misplaced somewhere. I have no idea where it went. But that's what I'm gonna be using for an anchor on this kayak. If I come across another anchor cheap, I may use an actual anchor. But for now, that's going to do it, and it's going to hold this kayak just fine. I mean, every one of them I've ever used before has held a kayak just fine. That's the Yak Attack lever lock anchor trolley system installed on this Lifetime kayak. We got some other mods we're going to be doing. I'm going to be putting a fish finder on this thing. We're going to be raising the seat. I have some other equipment for that. And just some other kayak mods are coming up on this particular kayak. So if y'all are interested in kayak mods or interested in this kayak in particular, stay tuned because there's going to be a bunch more stuff coming up. As always, thank you. God bless. If you don't care, like, share, and subscribe. It'll really help out the channel. I appreciate y'all. Catch you later. Bye.